I'm going to try today to just give you some quick nuggets in 5 minutes, and I hope they're helpful to you and interesting. And what I'd like to do is to put you in the shoes of an entrepreneur who's making a decision. Put yourself in the shoes of a company who's got about $15 million of revenue, and they're making $2 million a year. Pretty nice business, correct? Their stretch goal where they'd like to be in 3 years, and we should all have our own goal, is to get to 25 million and double their profits. And to do that, usually we have a stretch goal and there's something that we're concerned to do, some tools we're missing. Their tool they're considering is an acquisition. And this acquisition is going to require $2 million of cash and about 3 years to start paying for itself. To keep it really simple, and I know there could be 50 permutations, but they have 4 choices, and I'd like you to think about what you would do if you were in their shoes. Choice 1 is to do nothing. How can you afford to spend $2 million if you're making $2 million? Math doesn't really work well, so you just don't do it. Choice number 2 is what I call is the old ramen noodles approach. Fight through it. Get ready to quit the vacations, stretch out your payables, pull money out of savings, piss off vendors, just roll with it. That's the fight through it option. Choice number 3 is go to the bank and get a 5-year loan at 5% interest. That will result in a monthly payment of about $38,000 a month. And choice number 4 is to go to the SBA and get a 10-year loan at a higher interest rate and have a monthly payment of about $24,000 a month. So just by show of hands, who would do nothing? Anybody wouldn't do it? Wouldn't make the acquisition? We got a couple. Who would bust out the ramen noodles and quit the vacations? Okay, good amount. Who would take the 5-year loan from the bank? Handful of you. And who would take the 10-year loan from the bank and pay the higher interest? Do you know what most business owners would do? They would do nothing because they're not thinking about it. They're not thinking about their goals, and they don't really have a plan and what tools they're missing to reach their objectives. And if you were my client, I'd encourage you to pick the SBA and take the 10-year money because trees don't go to the sky forever, and it's more conservative, even though it's higher interest, to have the lower monthly payment, especially since there's no prepayment penalty. And so as you think about that, I'd like to encourage you to think about what your stretch goal is. Where do you want your business to be for 3 years from now? And what tools are missing in your toolbox to reach those goals? And how are you thinking about them? And how are you thinking about your balance sheet and how you might finance them? One way, and it's certainly not the only way, but it's often a lot of myths and mystery about it, is to use the SBA. And I want to just run through the biggest 3 myths about the SBA in the time I have left to talk about it. Does the SBA lend money? Anybody know? No, some people would think it does. But in fact, the SBA is a guarantee program that encourages banks and non-bank lenders to make riskier loans than they otherwise would make. Myth number 2, are SBA loans for mom and pop shops only? The little flower shop on the corner? Nope. You can get up to $5 million to buy out a partner, to acquire a business, working capital, different things like that. And if it's for equipment or real estate, you can go to $12.8 million. And in fact, if you slap a solar panel on that building, you can go up to 25.6. And myth number 3, everyone think the bank, remember when we realized our parents don't know everything? Sometimes our bankers don't know everything also. Your banker might have told you you're not qualified for the SBA or never told you about it. And they might be right, but guess what? There are 2,200 other banks out there that do SBA loans. They all use the program a little bit differently. They each have their own credit criteria, and it's worth you should get more than one opinion to learn about the program. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time. I did it in 4 minutes and 47 seconds. Thank you very much.